Hi, I'm Jem Moore. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this YouTube channel, I will talk about mental health, recovery from addiction, amongst other things. And the purpose of this vlog is to raise awareness and get people talking, and also within the Christian community to reduce the stigma of being a Christian and suffering with mental health and addiction. I'm going to talk about changing your narrative. It's a psychological fact that our thoughts control our behaviour. Ultimately, what we are consumed within our minds and what we think about the most, in the end, will control our behaviour. So the first step I found to overcoming my mental health and overcoming my addiction was changing the narrative and the negative words that I spoke over myself. It's a psychological fact that the more we think about, the more it affects our behaviour. And if we continually speak about negative things, say negative things over our lives, that is what we will end up living. And in psychology, they talk about scripts, the scripts that we write about our lives. And we all do it. We write various scripts about who we are, about our future, about the people around us, the environment we're in. And if those scripts that we write about ourselves are continually negative, that will affect the way we live our lives. Repetition reinforces circuits in our brain and forms neural connections. And in much the same way as learning an instrument, repetition, if we're speaking negative things over our lives again and again and again, these will form connections within our brain that ultimately will affect our outward behaviour, because what we think, so we will be. And it says that in the Bible as well, as a man thinketh, so he is. One of the first steps in me recovering from my mental health and continuing to recover from my mental health on a daily basis was changing the narrative I spoke over my life. The negative thoughts we say over ourselves affect our outward behaviour. One of the scripts, one of the narratives that I spoke over my life for much of my teenage years, my adult life, was that even when things were going well, when I was doing well in my mental health, or I was doing well in my recovery, and things were just going really well in my life, I would always have this script, this narrative in the back of my head that it's only a matter of time before things fall apart. And because I spoke that over myself, I began to believe it, and in the end, things did fall apart because our thoughts affect our behaviour. And it wasn't until if you've watched my Instagram or my Facebook, or you've known me long enough, you'll know I'm connected to a church in Tulsa, Oklahoma, called Victory Church. So Victory have a confession that they say each week where it talks about my best days are right in front of me because I have victory in my life. And after my suicide attempt almost 2 years ago, when I came out of hospital, I'd heard the confession before, but I heard it on the way home from the hospital, and it was a light bulb moment for me, because I suddenly realised, yes, I've survived this suicide attempt, so my best days really are right in front of me. And the more I said that over myself, the more my life began to change, because at the beginning, it was hard to believe it. And sometimes when we're in our deepest, darkest moments, it's hard to believe anything positive. It's hard to believe that our best days are right in front of us. But we don't have to believe it to say it. And the more we say it, the more we'll believe it. So I had to change my narrative. I had to change the negative thoughts that I would speak over my life. You know, sometimes you can wake up on the morning and you can feel like you've got out the wrong side of the bed. And if you say that over yourself, if you go and wash your face or brush your teeth and you're saying to yourself, oh, this is just going to be the worst day ever, you can guarantee it will be your worst day ever. You you have to change your narrative, the negative things you're speaking over yourself. And the more you speak positive over yourself, the more you'll start to live that out, the more you'll start to believe it. You don't have to believe it to say it, but the more you say it, the more your brain will fall into place and start believing it with you. It's a psychological fact that words have power, and it even speaks in the Bible about the power of the tongue. So I really encourage all of you to, even if you don't feel it, even if you're feeling like you're in your worst days, wake up on the morning and look in the mirror and say, this is going to be a good day. This is going to be my best day today. This year is going to be my best year. This week's going to be my best year. Whatever it is, if all you can do is start by changing one thing you say about yourself. So if you say, I look really ugly, or my hair, I don't like my hair, or whatever it is you're speaking negatively over your life, even if it's just one thing, just change that one thing and change it with something positive and start speaking that positive over your life, because I can guarantee you now it's worked in my life, it's worked in so many other people I know. The more you start speaking positive over your life, even if you don't feel it, the more it will change your feelings, your attitudes and your behaviours. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, share and like to help get the message out that recovery is possible and there is hope from mental health and addiction. Thanks for watching.